Back in the early 2010s, Disney Junior was that channel. You had Jake and the Neverland Pirates running wild, Doc McStuffins' Mickey Mouse Clubhouse solving problems with a hot dog dance. But in the middle of all that, there was one royal little girl, and her name was Sofia the First. So what happened to Sofia the First? Why did Disney let her fade away like she was never part of the princess lineup? So let's get into it. Sofia the First aired on November 18th, 2012 with a movie called Once Upon a Princess. That movie was like her big introduction, and after that, the actual show started in January 2013 on Disney Junior. It ran for 4 full seasons and ended on September 8th, 2018. So yeah, Sofia was on air for almost 6 years straight with over 100 songs across all seasons. Let's start from the very beginning so we can get things straight. The show opens with a normal girl, no crown, no castle, no magical pets, just Sofia, a sweet and kind girl who lived with her mother Miranda in a small village. Miranda was a shoemaker. She owned a shoe shop and worked really hard to take care of Sofia, but one day everything changed. The royal family, King Roland II and his 2 kids, Princess Amber and Prince James, visited the village, and guess who made the king's new shoes? Yup, Miranda. She was asked to come to the castle for a special fitting, and during that time, she and the king spent more and more time together. Over time, King Roland fell in love. It wasn't some long, drawn-out romance since this was a kid's show after all, but it was sweet and respectful. Eventually, King Roland married Miranda, making her the new queen of Enchantia, and just like that, Sofia became a princess overnight. But it wasn't all fun and fairy tales. From day one, Sofia had to adjust to this new royal life, and that meant dealing with Amber, her new stepsister. Amber was used to being the only princess. She was beautiful, spoiled, and very proper. So when Sofia came in wearing plain clothes and not knowing how to act royal, Amber wasn't happy. She didn't exactly roll out the red carpet. Sofia also met Prince James, Amber's twin brother, who was a lot more friendly and playful. He helped Sofia settle in and tried to make her feel at home. But one of the biggest things that changed Sofia's life came from a gift. As a royal welcome, King Roland gave Sofia a magical necklace called the Amulet of Avalor. At first, she thought it was just pretty jewelry, but soon she found out it was extremely powerful. The amulet gave her all kinds of abilities. She could talk to animals, which is how she met her talking bird Robin and her bunny sidekick Clover. It could transform her into different forms like a mermaid or even tiny-sized Sofia. It would summon Disney princesses when she needed advice, but if she acted selfish or did something wrong, the amulet would curse her. So yeah, the amulet was magical, but it also kept her in check. You couldn't just go around misusing magic and expect to get away with it. Now, what made this show different was that it wasn't just about fun or silly adventures. It had princess training, kingdom drama, magic spells, and even a few emotional life lessons thrown in. Also, classic Disney princesses like Cinderella, Belle, Jasmine, Ariel, and even Rapunzel popped up in different episodes. They would come through when Sofia needed help or advice.
Let's talk about Royal Prep Academy. This was a special school for princes and princesses. So Sofia started going there when she went to the palace, and it was run by the 3 fairies from Sleeping Beauty, Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather. They taught lessons like proper royal behavior, sword fighting, ballroom dancing, and how to rule a kingdom with kindness. This school was all about turning royal kids into true leaders, but most of Sofia's real lessons came from her own experiences. One of the most interesting parts of the show was Cedric the Sorcerer. He was the royal magician, and on the surface, he acted polite. But secretly, Cedric wanted to steal Sofia's amulet to become powerful and take over the kingdom. His schemes always failed, in funny ways. And over time, you'd see his character slowly change. He started to care about Sofia, even if he didn't want to admit it. When it comes to the animation, Sofia the First used CGI animation, which means computer-generated imagery. It wasn't hand-drawn like the old-school Disney movies, Sleeping Beauty, Aladdin, and The Lion King, and it wasn't super hyper-realistic like Pixar movies either. It sat somewhere in the middle. Soft, stylized, clean, and colorful. The animation had that signature Disney Junior vibe made specifically for younger kids. You know, the big, expressive eyes to help show emotions clearly, bright and saturated colors that pop on screen. Nothing was gritty or too realistic. It was meant to feel like a living fairy tale, something safe, warm, and magical. The animation was handled by a Canadian studio called Toon City in the Philippines, in collaboration with Icon Creative Studio in Canada. These are the same studios that worked on shows like Elena of Avalor, Miles from Tomorrowland, and The Rocketeer. So you can definitely see the similarities in style. Now listen, when Sofia the First came out, Disney went all in. They didn't want to treat it like a cute little cartoon tucked away on Disney Junior. Nah, this was Disney's first official princess created for television, and they treated her like royalty. Literally. Let's start with the merch, because Disney never misses a chance to make that coin. Sofia's face was everywhere. Dolls in all sizes, standard Sofia, mermaid Sofia, flying horse Sofia, playsets like her castle, her bedroom, her carriage, and even the Royal Prep Academy with mini versions of the fairies. Dress-up costumes that little kids could wear, including her signature purple gown and amulet. Books, backpacks, school supplies, lunchboxes, puzzles, and more. You couldn't walk into a toy store between 2013 and 2016 without seeing something Sofia related. There were even Sofia the First apps and mobile games for preschoolers. One of them was Sofia the First, The Enchanted Garden, where you helped Sofia grow magical plants. The franchise was made to entertain kids beyond the screen, and Disney Parks didn't leave her out either. But the sad part is, over time, the hype faded. Disney moved on to other shows like Elena of Avalor, Mira, Royal Detective, and of course, bigger movie-based franchises like Frozen, Moana, and Encanto.
Alright, let's talk about the cast of characters. Sofia was the heart of the show. Sweet, curious, and always trying her best. Queen Miranda started off as just a hardworking shoemaker and ended up becoming Queen of Enchantia. She was supportive, wise, and always knew what to say. Princess Amber, Sofia's stepsister. Amber was a handful in season 1, let's be honest. She was your classic spoiled princess, jealous, dramatic, fashion-obsessed, and petty with a capital P. Yeah, but over time she started to care about Sofia, opened up, and even helped her on quests. Prince James, Sofia's stepbrother. James was the chill twin. Funny, sporty, sometimes a little too goofy for his own good, but he was always kind to Sofia, even from the start. Clover, Sofia's rabbit sidekick. Clover was that dude. Imagine if Bugs Bunny lived in a Disney palace and had a Brooklyn accent that was Clover. He was sarcastic, lazy, always hungry, and totally uninterested in royal life.
Then we had Princess Hildegard and Princess Cleo. These were Amber's two besties, and every time they popped up, it was giving rich girl energy. Hildegard was the snobbiest of the group. She always thought she was the smartest in the room. Spoiler, she wasn't. Cleo, on the other hand, was more down-to-earth and sweet, and let's not forget King Roland, Sofia's stepdad. At first, he was a bit stiff and awkward. He didn't really know how to connect with Sofia, but over time, he started seeing her as his real daughter. As some of you may know, in every show, we always do an episode lineup so you can get an image of what the show is all about. And today's episode is called The Little Witch. It's in Season 1, Episode 11. In this episode, Sofia, Ruby, and Jade are super hyped getting ready for Jade's birthday party in town, like balloons flying everywhere, cute invites going out, the whole shebang. As they're setting up, something weird starts happening. Turns out there's this sneaky little witch named Lucinda hiding in the bushes, just casually hexing everything. Crayons are melting, and she's also turning lanterns into beehives. So, when Jade sees this, she gets pissed and calls Lucinda a very bad witch since she has ruined her birthday decorations, while Ruby and Sofia are basically freaking out. Lucinda zooms off on her broom, but Sofia starts thinking maybe there's more to this girl than just trouble. Everyone warns her not to go near Lucinda unless she wants to get hexed, but Sofia, being Sofia, decides to find her anyway. So Sofia ends up spotting Lucinda sitting all alone on some village stairs, looking low-key sad, holding one of the party invites. Sofia gently tells her, "I bet you do want friends, and I'm here to help." And Lucinda tries to play tough with some witchy attitude, saying stuff like,
"Don't know how else to act." "What? Hexing is all I know how to do. My parents are witches, my grandparents are witches."
But Sofia doesn't back down. She shares that even she had to learn how to be a princess, and offers to teach Lucinda how to be a friend instead. So Lucinda's not exactly smooth at it. She struggles even just trying to say sorry. But Sofia's like, "Don't worry, I got you." So they go back together to hand out more invites, and Lucinda gives it a shot. She actually apologizes to Jade, but Jade's not buying it. She's still suspicious, and Lucinda gets frustrated and makes a rain cloud over Jade's head out of nowhere. All the other kids scatter, but Sofia steps in quick and helps Lucinda reverse it with some cool magic wind, drying Jade off. Even after all that, Jade still doesn't trust her and literally sets up a witch trap inside her house. And guess who walks straight into it? Yup, Sofia. So, the decorations get ruined, the cake's a mess, and Jade instantly blames Lucinda, even though she had nothing to do with it. Lucinda gets super hurt and runs off crying. After cooling off, Jade realizes she was being unfair. She tracks Lucinda down, apologizes, and actually invites her back to the party. Lucinda decides to use her magic for good. She fixes the garden, makes this giant magical cake, and even sets off some pretty wild fireworks. And the party turns out amazing. Ruby and Sofia join in, Lucinda is finally accepted, and she officially becomes one of the good guys. The voice of Princess Sofia was none other than Ariel Winter, aka Alex from Modern Family. Before she was being sarcastic and emo on one of the biggest sitcoms of the 2010s, she was out here talking to animals, wearing a purple gown, and leading a kingdom with kindness. She actually recorded many of Sofia's lines between filming breaks on Modern Family.
Clover the bunny was voiced by Wayne Brady. Yes, that Wayne Brady. You might know him as a game show host, improv king, singer, and Broadway star. So from my point of view, they wrapped it up beautifully. Even though Sofia was a princess, Disney never added her to the official Disney princess lineup. You know, the ones you see in stores, in parks, on backpacks. This is because Sofia came from TV, not a theatrical movie. And Disney is very strict about who gets to sit at the princess table. Drop your memories in the comments, and if there's another forgotten cartoon or underrated show you want us to talk about next, tell us. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe. See y'all in the next one.